Considering this is a film about drumming, I thought I'd ask all of you a question. Do you like Phil Collins? Trust me to make an American Psycho reference in a Whiplash review. I was originally going to do a Cave Johnson joke. I thought, no, you know what, I'll talk about American Psycho for like a second. Anyway, hello everybody, I am Oscar, and welcome to my, I guess you can say, late review of Whiplash. Either way, it was going to be late. I saw it later than anyway. Whiplash is directed and written by Damien Chazelle and stars Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. And the plot of Whiplash is that Miles Teller plays a 19-year-old student who is an aspiring jazz drummer, as in he wants to be one of the greatest jazz drummers around, like Buddy Rich. And he ends up enrolling in a class which is taught by J.K. Simmons. And J.K. Simmons is like this, he's a very, high up teacher in this university. And, if you're in his class, you're going to be in one of the best classes around. Top. Everything seems to be going right? Wrong. J.K. Simmons' character, Fitchett, turns out to be one of the most horrible, just awful humans around. Now, going into this film, I was pretty excited just from what I was hearing over from what America was saying. Like, everyone who saw it in America was saying, like, oh my god, this is phenomenal, this is an amazing film, see it if you get a chance. I sat through this film, and when I walked out of the cinema, oh wow, Whiplash is amazing. Oh my god, this is a phenomenal film. Literally, when I walked out of Whiplash, I could not contain myself. As soon as I got out of the screening, I literally whipped out my phone and texted and messaged Will, James and Gary and said, oh my god, Whiplash is amazing. I don't usually do that. I usually I'm still going to keep this film to myself. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself about this film, but I literally could not contain myself after seeing Whiplash. I had to tell people, like, oh, it's so good. Now let's say why I love this film. Well, let's get like the obvious out of the way with the acting. Whoo, the acting. Not only by J.K. Simmons, who, on the poster of Whiplash, it may as well just say above his name, and the Oscar goes to. Is there any question of him not getting it? Seriously. J.K. Simmons, I think, needs this Oscar, not to benefit his career or anything, but just because it's that performance just warrants that little gold statue. He was amazing. Best supporting performance of the year. But Miles Teller really did something in this film. He played a very quiet and vulnerable student, but he also had a bit of, cockiness and a bit of, fast talking element to him. He wasn't a nerd. He wasn't a complete nerd, and he wasn't a complete jock or anything. He felt like a normal student. But the main thing that really got me with his performance, especially, was how much passion he had for this subject. The passion that Miles Teller shows, not from when only he's doing it successfully, but when he sometimes mucks up and he just punches the drum set at one point and he just puts his fist through it. You want him to be successful, and you feel his passion towards being a jazz drummer. Now I just want to go back to J.K. Simmons for a bit, and I just want to say this. I wanted to punch Fletcher in the face so badly. I just wanted to get up from my seat, go into the screen and just completely uppercut Fletcher. I would have lost my cool way earlier. I wouldn't have took any of that. But instead of, actually punching him, I would have probably said, I want to leave. I would have been one of these drummers like, I'm sorry, I'm out of this. The thing that annoys me the most isn't when he slaps him or when he throws a chair at Miles Teller. No, it's when he's just belittling him and he's just talking down on him. And it's not just him, he talks down on everyone. It's just the way he just gets under his skin and he just flat out insults him. That kind of really struck a chord with me because it's like I've even known or had teachers like that. Not as extreme as that, but teachers who essentially abuse their power. I've known teachers like that. And they're essentially bullies with ties. That's the thing that really got me with J.K. Simmons' performance, and I really think he did a fantastic job at that. Because that's essentially what J.K. Simmons is in this film. He's just a bully. He's just a grown-up bully who has got authority. That's all he is. But there's also moments that you just kind of laugh because it's like Ali Ermey in Blinking Full Metal Jacket. It's like the Private Pile situation. He just goes straight to these guys, like these students, and he just insults them in ways you're like, you shouldn't be doing that, but I'm chuckling at it because it was such a quick moment. For example, one of my favourite lines that J.K. Simmons says in this film is when a kid is looking down because he's like, he's just frightened of him. And then J.K. Simmons just looks down at where the kid's looking at, and then he looks back at him and he goes, there's no Mars bar down there, look at me. And I just chuckled because I was like, that was smart, but that was really, really nasty. Now, this film was filmed on digital, which Damien Chazelle has said that he really does prefer film than he does digital. But honestly, the way that this film looked, it looked amazing. Do you know why? Because of the lighting decisions. Oh my god, the lighting decisions is fantastic. And he makes digital look amazing, just like Fincher does, by using one specific colour and using many different tones of that in one scene. Like, usually in the band room, there's like many reds. I'm sure there was one scene where it was just a blue tone to it. And this film shows if you use the right type of lighting or the right tones of colours, you can make digital look amazing. And I think we're getting to the time where digital is starting to really, really rival film. Film is still looking better than digital, but digital is looking great, and Whiplash really does prove that with the amazing lighting. Another technical aspect I have to give major props to this film is that the editing. Oh my god, the editing, specifically when drumming is happening and it goes boom boom boom. It's I can't even explain it just because of how amazing it was, specifically in the last part of the film. The editing just blew my mind. I was like, oh god. He shot it like an action scene. He shot drum sequences like an action scene, which was a really unique way of doing it, and it made it just so tense. And speaking of tense, oh my god, this film, I think the one word that I can use for this film is intensity. This film was more intense than some action films I've seen in a while. I'm not even kidding you. Some action films are more boring than this film about a wannabe jazz drummer. Just think about that for a moment. And the last scene, the last 10 minutes. I don't even know what to say about that. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, here's how I'm going to put it. The last sequence of this film was just as intense as the kitchen fight scene in The Raid 2. Yeah. Yeah. And the way it ended, I haven't reacted to an ending like that since I saw Prisoners. I swear to God, there were moments in this film that I just got numerous amount of chills. I literally just went, ugh, just chills all over. Because of just like some moments in the film. There were moments where, again, this is specifically the last moment. Here's what I did throughout essentially the last scene. I wasn't blinking for like a solid, it didn't feel like I blinked for 10 minutes. I probably did, but it's like my eyes were just glued to the screen. My mouth was slowly just going further and further open just because of how just blown away I was. I was sat upright. I was fully paying attention to the screen, and I just was, and I was holding my breath because of how intense this was, of how the editing made it so intense, how the lighting just made it so intense, how the cinematography made it so intense. As soon as the credit, directed by Damien Chazelle, as soon as that came up, I was like, oh God. Because I forgot to breathe throughout the end of it. Here's how you know a film has great cinematography. When you think about a film and specific shots stand out in your mind. And there were a lot of specific shots that stood out in my mind. What I said about Birdman, about when if you want to be in the creative industry for a career, you need to see Birdman. Same thing with Whiplash, but for different reasons. Whiplash is more or less to never really give up your passion. Because I mean, for me, I just replace drumming with filmmaking. And instantly I have a connection because I'm like, yes, just never give up. Aspire to be one of the greats, even though you may never be one of the greats. Just aspire to be one. Reach for the stars, as Buzz Lightyear says. Take advice from Buzz Lightyear and just reach for the star. It's reach for the sky, isn't it? I just misquoted Toy Story. God damn it. Whiplash is amazing in so many different ways. The acting is incredible. The characters are amazing characters. Lighting is fantastic. Cinematography is great. Sound is amazing. Editing is fantastic. The tension is unbelievable. The writing and directing, Damien Chazelle, oh my God, I can see Damien Chazelle being the next big thing. I really can. And please, Damien, don't go on the track of Richard Kelly, where he made Donnie Darko and then he just did other films that just really went nowhere and didn't do anything. Don't do that, Damien. Please make more good films. You got La La Land coming out, and I'm anticipating that. My God, Damien Chazelle, an amazing young talent to look out for. My God. There's elements of Scorsese and Fincher in his direction. I cannot wait to see what else he does. Whiplash is a phenomenal film. I honestly cannot think about anything wrong with the film. It is a near perfect film. I adore Whiplash. Heck, I love this so much, I'm bringing back a rating system that I have never used in a while. I'm giving Whiplash an 11 out of 10. I don't even rate things anymore and I'm giving Whiplash an 11 out of 10. Woo! Yeah, Whiplash is amazing, and I think I have made my point clear now of how much I adore Whiplash. Whiplash is incredible. Links are down below for Twitter and Facebook to me, James, Will and Gary, as well as the Facebook page to just the Heel Pictures crew overall, whatever, you know. You can do that if you want. And till next time, guys, I shall see you later and goodbye.